on your right. My right? No, your right, Brett. Sarah Todd, Philadelphia Inquirer. That execution, probably the last half of that fourth quarter, what did you see? There was a couple turnovers, a lot of missed shots.
Well, to be exact, there were 3 turnovers, and we missed some free throws, and we missed some layups. And you give Toronto credit, their defense went up a new level, and it was a closeout type of quarter, fourth period to go win a game, and we went in there, I think it was 75-75 at the end of the third, and we went into a drought. There was probably a 6.5 minute drought that was littered with missed layups, missed free throws, some open threes, and sprinkled in with some turnovers, and I give Toronto credit.
Brett, center. Gerard Hector, BSO. You know, obviously with one day in between each game now, the rest of the series, no one's really 100%. Are you looking at anything differently with Joel playing minutes and how you're going to sort of structure that rotation going forward?
I mean, it's really just driven out of his health. You know, I got a text from him at 6:20 a.m. this morning telling me, like, he didn't sleep all night. He'd really never felt this poorly, and he was unsure, Coach, if I'm going to play. I just want to give you a heads up. I'll try, but I don't know. And, you know, with that started my day. And you started to, like, fast forward about who's going to come in, how you're going to, you know, rotate the team, et cetera. To his complete credit, you know, he just kind of willed his way through it. And that's a circular way to answer your question. When I get information of how healthy he is, I can better tell you or answer your question. As it sits, I appreciate and respect his effort to get out there and play for his team.
Maybe it's in regards to that. I noticed Joel wasn't out there for the anthems. Was he dealing with something at that point?
And John, I would expect that.
Yeah.
I would completely expect that to be the reason, but I don't know that.
And I saw him after the early dunk. It looked like he grimaced. Was it something with his knee or his back, or was it
No,
something?
it's a virus, and you know, all during like pregame film, you can hear him sneezing and sneezing and sneezing. And you try to ignore it and like just coach through it and show the players the pregame tape. But I'd be lying if I were to tell you it wasn't completely on my mind as I'm talking to the team, showing the tape, listening and seeing him.
Brett, Darryl Bell, Philadelphia Tribune. You've tried everything almost imaginable to stop Kawhi. Is there any combination that you have seen that you like and you want to see more of?
I mean, I think he's punishing for sure. And, you know, when it was a 1-point game with, I think, a minute, maybe it was a little more than a minute, you know, with maybe, 2 seconds on a clock, he hits that backbreaker 3. And I think it took it to 84, 81 or something like that. You know, the stuff that he can get off, and we had 2 people out there, the stuff that he can do to create his own shot is Kobe-like for me. You know, he's just so gifted in relation to doing that. To your question about, like, well, who can guard him? Funny enough, you know, with our wins, I think we've done a decent job on him. You know, mightn't we look to double team him a little bit more? Possibly. But, you know, we were able to create, I think he had 7 turnovers and just try to do our best to show him a crowd. But at the end of the day, that's a hell of a player. 39 points, and you really felt all of them.
Brett, you mentioned pregame that you were ready for them to counter with a bigger lineup. How did you think you responded to that bigger lineup when Nick Nurse showed it late in the game?
I think we did fine. You know, I think rebounding wise, you could feel the physicality. Try to do some stuff for Tobias. You know, with Serge trying to chase him a little bit more. You know, it's stuff we had talked about. But like I say, they you know, effectively played 6 players, and he did a great job. I think Serge and Mark, you got two veteran physical players. I thought that they were outstanding. Mark especially hurt us with I thought efficient play and some threes and so on, but I didn't feel like we were unprepared. I do give them credit for the way they performed, but it wasn't something that caught us off guard.
Brett, in the back, what did you think of the way Jimmy played today to kind of keep you guys in the game all 4 quarters?
I mean, he wills his way into putting his thumbprint on just the game. Like, there's a physicality that he plays with. He's just a runaway train at times, and him coming up with some rebounds and loose balls, and you see his just jaw-dropping athleticism, and then you just see his toughness emerge. And we talk a lot about trying to play to mirror the spirit of the city. This is Philadelphia, and there is a toughness that he has that I think reflects the spirit of the city. And I think tonight, once again, you saw him do everything that he could to will us a win.
Brett, when Joel is that sick and he texts you in the morning, he's not feeling right, obviously he's not 100%, is there any consideration for not having him play tonight, or was it up to him? Or
For sure, Sarah, there was. And he just forced his way into playing. Like he said, I'm playing. And really, like, when you look at it, he was plus 17. We're all going to look at whatever he shot from the floor or his free throws or whatever. Cut to the chase and go to the bottom line and look at plus minus. And despite, him being ill, and despite, 7 shots or, what he shot at the free throw line, and really his free throws were quite good up until the 4th period, he ends up a plus 17. And it's just another reminder of how important he is to our team.
But just to follow up in the back, just to follow up on Jimmy, when he's on the bench, he seems like he's very, very engaged, kind of up, pacing around, talking to the guys in the court. What's it like having him back there? What is his? You mentioned the imprint that he puts on the team.
Yeah.
What is he saying? What is
It's
he
just
like on the bench?
leadership stuff, just leadership stuff that you would hope from a coaching standpoint one of your best players to say. And, you just sort of seen him, I have seen him grow from a leadership standpoint in noticeable ways. And it's reflected with his performance on a court. It's reflected of what goes on in the locker room. It's reflected with what you just said. You see him on a bench when he's not playing. You can point to multiple examples to say, that is a leader. And he's been able to back that up with some strong court performances.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.